Thank you so much for joining us, Jide.
Good evening, Fatima. It's my pleasure.
All right, so we are seeing what has been playing out, looking at the timeline of the whole tension happening in Rivers State. How will Fubara's impeachment move shape Rivers' power balance between Wike's faction and the APC ahead of 2027?
Well, what's happened today in Port Harcourt is a cause for concern for me, even though it's not totally unexpected. But as you said in your question, it's all about 2027. Forget about not submitting the budget for, not submitting the 2026 budget and all of that. Just days back, the Federal Executive Council approved 1.8 trillion budget for 2026. I think the follow-up should have been to submit the budget um, to the State House of Assembly for ratification. But this is all about whether Fubara should get or will not get a second term ticket. And the person drumming for the State House of Assembly in Rivers is Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. By the way, he could be accused of dereliction of duty because um, only one day was given as public holiday in this year, the 1st of January. He should have resumed back at his duty post by 2nd of January, which was last Friday. And you can see he's still doing the rounds of the 23 local governments in Rivers, doing what you call thank you visit. And people have wondered, what are you thanking people for? The time for Thanksgiving has come and gone. Why are you not at your duty post in Abuja? But it's obvious that in the last few days, he has made it clear in the course of this thank you visit to the local government areas that Fubara will not get a second term. He said, yes, he's unwavered in his support for President Bola Tinubu for 2027. But as for Fubara, he will not get a second term ticket. In fact, in one of the local governments, he said if Fubara should get a second term, he will be buried politically, and that is his fear. So all that acted out at the floor of the Rivers State House of Assembly today is just calling a dog a bad name in order to hang it. The major issue in focus now is how to ensure that Fubara does not contest 2027 governorship election on the platform of APC. And recently there was even a contention about after Fubara joined APC, and he said he has collected card number 001. Wike, who is not even a member of the PDP, Wike, who is not a member of the APC, went public and said Fubara cannot be 001 in APC. And meanwhile, to the best of my knowledge, Wike is not a member of APC. So why is he bothered about who is 001 or 010 or 1000? But just to let you know that this is just about 2027. Wike is mortally afraid that if Fubara should get a second term ticket under APC and by magic could win a re-election, then he will be done for because he will not have the basis for negotiation to remain relevant in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency beyond 2027. So that's all that is meant. All these issues that they are raking up, Fubara is giving Rivers money to people who come on his visit, he will convert Naira to dollar and then dash it out. Was Wike their master not doing it when he was there? Is the great final full of information about how even some serving governors now went to him and he bankrolled their election? How did he bankroll their election? Was it from his personal purse? Was it not from Rivers' money? So this whole issue of calling a dog a bad name in order to hang it is just rabble-rousing. The major issue, as I said earlier on, is about stopping Fubara from getting re-elected. And that is and my own take is that I'm here to hear from the presidency. I'm also here to hear from the leadership of the APC in Abuja, particularly the national chairman. Don't forget that few days ago, the national secretary of APC, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, and Wike were locked in a public spat when Ajibola Bashiru said, as far as APC is concerned, whoever the governor is the number one citizen in that state and in the party, and that that is a settled issue. But Wike came out and said Ajibola Bashiru should mind his own business. He is going to even lodge complaint on him when the president comes back. He should not meddle in Rivers affairs. So all of this that came out today is just a accumulation of that. So that's why I'm saying I'm waiting to see. There's a statement credited to Opus Odima, the chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, that they are going to stand behind Fubara. I hope that is true. But beyond the governor standing behind Fubara, it's not just about rushing to court, it's about prevailing on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even from Paris where he is, to ensure that Fubara is not impeached and that this issue is resolved amicably.
All right, Mr. Jude, let's talk about peace accord. I mean, we know that this is the second time it failed, and we know what happened when the first one also failed. Are you concerned about the fact that history could repeat itself in Rivers State again?
Well, history can, but lightning does not strike twice at the same spot. I don't think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will want to impose another state of emergency, even though Supreme Court seems to have strengthened his hand that he can actually declare state of emergency and suspend elected representative of the people. But I don't think the president will want to incur the wrath of the public, because if you look at the social media today, it's a watch and everybody knows who is the aggressor here. Even though it's Martin Aumewule that is talking, they are saying the voice of Wike in whatever Martins Amegule is saying. And like I told you, in English language, there is an ostensible and the real reason behind any motive. So the ostensible reason is that, oh, Fubara has not presented the budget, where Fubara is spending, is dashing out Rivers money, Fubara is doing this, is doing that. But the real reason is to prevent him from getting a second-term ticket and winning a second-term victory. And then you ask yourself, if on this whole issue of Wike's influence, a lot of people are saying unless you tame Wike's political influence, it may actually become an albatross on the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even before 2027, because everybody sees that he's actually the one engineering this whole crisis. Imagine saying in Rivers State there is no APC, there is no PDP, that he is the one in charge of both. In fact, in one of the thank you visits he was doing, he called the factional chairman of APC out and the PDP factional chairman, and he said, look at them, they are all here, so there is no other opposition. And I think the president needs to be very wary of one, he cannot be guilty of silence, because don't forget that Fubara is from the riverine area, and is the first governor from that riverine area in the history of Rivers State. And his people said they are strongly behind him, which speaks to the Ijaw Youth Council and the Ijaw National Congress communicated you read out in your bulletin earlier. And I hope it does not get messy to the point that the economic infrastructure of Nigeria in Rivers State, which is the oil and gas sector, will not get started, will not be targeted for vandalism to prove a point, because it's all about the fight of two titans. Similarly, Fubara may appear very, humble and unassuming, but if his people rally behind him, they may not be able to match Wike in terms of political intrigues, but they control the riverine area, and that's where you have the oil and gas facility. And but I don't see the president imposing another state of emergency, and I don't think it will also serve the interest of the president to allow the impeachment of Fubara, because that then will mean it will strengthen the hands of Wike. And one thing I need to also emphasize, Fatima, before we go, is that if to tell you the mischief behind this impeachment motive, have you ever had Professor Mrs. Ngozi Odu, the deputy governor, making any statement? The woman has been calm. The woman did not even defect with Fubara when he defected. It was only this week, on Monday this week, that Professor Odu, the deputy governor of Rivers, defected. Why is the Rivers State House of Assembly roping her in to be impeached alongside with Fubara? It is to pave way for Martin Samewule, the current speaker, because in the absence of the governor, the deputy governor is the speaker that will be sworn in as the acting governor. And we all know that Martin Amewule, who is a loyalist of Fubara to the core, and that means the resources of Rivers State will be firmly in the hands of Wike's loyalists, and that's what they are working towards. So the president cannot afford to stand akibo and allow that to happen, because that will further strengthen the hands of Wike to do and undo. Don't forget, he's still having a running battle with other PDP governors, Sheyi Makinde, Bala Mohammed, and all of that. He's still having a running battle with them. Is he the only one that is a politician? Is he the first godfather? The other day when I was on your station to analyze godfatherism, I think it was over the weekend, we were talking about this godfather godson. He's not the only godfather that will be betrayed by a godson. So why is he eating up the polity? What is the end game for Wike, if not to control the levers of power in Abuja and then in Rivers? It is not right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jide, for contributing on the News Hour.
It's my pleasure. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Keep
Thank
safe
you.
and stay blessed.